Hello, everyone. This is Scott Caruso from MUX1303 here with my week one walkthrough of my application overview documentation. Um, real quick, just to give you background on what I'm doing and where my idea came from. Many months ago, when we were doing the JavaScript and jQuery classes, I had a concept for an application that would essentially geolocate and pull up information about Congress people, elected officials for whatever location you're in, or really any location in the United States that you wanted to search for via zip code or whatever. And I kind of built that out as a prototype in that class, and it worked out really well. And since then, I've always had this idea in my head that I'm going to turn this into something robust that can be used by a lot of different people, and it could really be a good native application for the iOS platform. So that's where this idea came from. I'm a huge politics politics junkie, so this kind of thing falls right into my wheelhouse. That's why I decided to take it on. The working title is called MyGov. And the application definition statement is essentially that it's an application that will allow political activists such as myself to be able to kind of engage and find politicians and lawmakers in a given locale. I really envision that what it's going to be is for people that already know that they are political activists or that they want to contact politicians, that they can use this application to contact politicians either via email, Facebook, Twitter, and actually send them issue emails and things like that. So the core functionality of the application would really be that it can use native geolocation to very quickly pull up the people in your area if you just plan on contacting the officials for where you're at that location. And you can also do zip code based fail-safe to look for any US location if geolocation is disabled or for whatever reason. That's really the basics. It'll provide basic information about the politician in question in case you want some basic information. Long term, I'd like to add more functionality to it. For instance, like I said, the ability to email and generate custom issue emails and things like that. The kinds of users I expect would be using this. The first one I called her Juliet Marks. She's someone who wants to be able to contact Congress people very quickly, kind of like me in a regard. She was kind of mirrored off of me a little bit. She's very active in local government and government issues, and really likes her voice to be heard, but finds a hard time actually finding the time to be able to get engaged as much as she would like. So her hope for the application is that it would allow her to contact politicians quickly and easily and be able to meet her needs in terms of being a kind of a low level activist. It's really important for her to be able to find politician information quickly because she may not she may not always, like I mentioned, have the time or the effort to be able to put into memorizing a lot of the different information about politicians. And she also wants to be able to call or email at the touch of a button. David Simmons is a secondary persona that I created. He's kind of a more hardcore kind of activist, the kind of guy that works for political campaigns, travels around to different locations, and needs to research the areas that he's going to and the politicians in the areas that he's going to before he ever gets there. So his hope for the application would be that he would be able to learn, enough information to be able to incorporate into speeches and things like that, or talking one-on-one with other activists once he gets to the locations that he's traveling to. The quick access to information about a specific town or a specific zip code is important to him, and he would love to be able to save an issue email template so that he can send out large-scale mailers later on because he gets so engaged at a high level. The kinds of questions in the user screening that I might want to ask to see if people are relevant for using this app. I want to know how closely people follow politics. I want to know what political ideology they adhere to or identify with to kind of get a nice even mix of political backgrounds. I want to know how often people have called or emailed politicians because those people are obviously very important to this application. And asking people if they would specifically use an application like this, and then just basic demographic information, age, gender, smartphone usage, things like that, just to kind of whittle down the prospects. And finally, I'll talk more about this in the discussion app or discussion video for this week. But I did a heuristics evaluation against two other apps that do similar things. There was one called My Politician that's very similar to the app that I'm creating. Although it has not, it's very badly out of date. It's very unstable, and it's not terrific. But it does do a lot of the same things: geolocation, zip code lookup, provides information, pictures, etc., about various politicians. Second app that does something similar called House of Representatives is really just a table that pulls in data based on members of the House of Representatives. It's also very unstable. It's very poorly laid out. The aesthetic is not good. It's really just uses a UI navigation control and list views to navigate the data. So that right there is my documentation for week 1. I will talk to everybody again in my discussion video and then again in week 2. Thanks.